Hello everyone! Last month, Anthropic released Claude Code and Cursor version 1.0 was launched. That's great, but you are probably wondering which tool you should use, Claude Code, Cursor, maybe both. After 15 years in software development and hundreds of hours using tools like Cursor and Claude Code, I'll try to analyze them through the eyes of a senior developer. We'll cover three key aspects: UI, code quality, and pricing, including a breakdown of usage limits. For this video, I've created a basic to-do app using Node.js and React. This is the app. You can see that I can add another task. Let's say task 3. Task 3 was added. We don't have database here. It saves everything in a JSON, but this is enough for us to demonstrate Claude Code and Cursor. Let's start with, let's say I'm going to give Cursor the task to add a delete button. So when the user clicks on this delete button, it will delete this specific task. So this is my cursor. As you can see here, to open it, I just need to click here, toggle AI panel. This is the chat. I have some options here, but first of all, let it run and then we'll talk about cursor. Add delete button for each task. First, Cursor is an IDE. You can add the extensions you want, view code, debug, and all the benefits of VS Code. I think that if you are planning to maintain the code you write and not just to put it as a little side project, review the code is essential, and we're going to see it in a second. In addition, in Cursor chat, you can attach files, screenshots. It is very useful. You can also add some logs in the terminal that you are working on. And regarding the LLM, in Cursor you can choose between multiple LLMs, not just Anthropic, and even play with them in the auto option. For example, you can see here that I have the auto option. If I disable it, you can see that I can choose a specific model. In my list, I already chose only Anthropic, but I can choose between OpenAI models, Gemini, for example, ChatGPT, and so on. And the auto just allows me to play with the models and to run each model when they're available. Regarding the code review, you can see that, in my opinion, this is much easier to review. You can see that it tells you what he wants to do. He added a delete to do function. After that, he went to the CS file and added this. And in the main screen, you can see that it asks me to review the file. For example, let's say I review this function and I want to accept it. Now I need to review the next file. This is very nice, and in this way I can track all the changes. In version 1.0, they added the ability to detect bugs and integrate with GitHub for fixes. In Cursor, we have something called Cursor rules. It is a general rules that you can add to each prompt you want. You can even be specific on the file extensions that these rules should apply on. Now let's dive into Claude Code. You can see here that I have a terminal. If I want to run it after the installation, I just need to write Claude. When I write Claude, you can see that this is working, and the terminal just asks me to write a prompt. For example, change the app to be in purple colors. Meanwhile, it's running. Let's talk about Claude Code. As I mentioned, it runs in the terminal. It doesn't work directly with Windows, only with WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. This is kinda important. Regarding code review, we're going to see how it works in a second, but in my opinion, it's more confusing to review code in a terminal. But let's see what it means. Great, now you can see that he wants to change app CSS. He wants me to review. I have multiple options for the review. In this option, I'm going to review the files one by one. He wants me to approve this change. Let's say that I want to approve it. Now he's going to continue and do some more changes. In my opinion, it's confusing because when I want to see the changes, I need to see the whole picture and not just a specific file. So I have another option. It is called auto accept. It's going to do all the changes and after it's done it's going to inform me. Now let's talk about the model. It allows you to run only Claude models. If you are using the Pro subscription, you are allowed to use the Opus model, which is very advanced. It also has the option of rules. It seems not to include all the features like cursor rules, but still has the basic concept. That's it for Claude Code, just in the terminal. Now let's try to merge between them and see how Claude Code will work inside Cursor. In order to run Claude inside Cursor, I need to open a new terminal. Let's say this is my new terminal. I need to write Claude again. When I'm running it in a terminal, I need to run the setup of terminal setup. You can see here that it is already found existing Cursor terminal, so I've already did it. It means that there's an integration between Claude Code and the IDE. When I'm done with this step, you can see that I have run Claude Code right here, the icon. And what it's going to do, it's going to open the Claude terminal in just like Cursor. You are probably wondering what's the difference between Claude Code and Claude Code integrated to the IDE. So let's have a look. Let's say I want to tell him change the colors of the app to be red. Now it's going to run. Again, when you open a new Claude dialog, it will ask for the approval on each file that he wants to modify. The difference here is that the change he wants to do, he opens the new file and asks me to approve it. This is easier to see the whole code and to jump between files, but still it acts the same and I don't have the option to see all the changes in one place. Let's talk about pricing and limits. Here is the Cursor subscription page. You can see that we have several packages, the free, the pro and the ultra. Usually people are choosing the pro. The pro gives you limited amount of fast requests, and after that you're going to use it with slow requests. In my opinion, the slow requests needs a lot of patience, so if you want to work with it all day, you'll end up crazy. It's very tough to work with it. It can take seconds for each iteration, so take it into consideration. That's nice. Let's jump to the Claude subscription page. Again, we have three packages. We have the free, pro and max. Usually, again, people are using the pro. The pro gives you the ability to work with the Claude Code as we saw. It's kind of limited, and after you are passing this amount of requests, you will need to buy some more credits for external usage. If you are choosing to go with the max, which is kind of expensive, $100, you will have the option to use the Opus 4 model, which is the strongest model for coding right now. It gives you a lot of benefit for big repos because it can understand a lot of context and run for longer times. I didn't mention it, but the Pro plans on Claude and on Cursor, both of them will cost you $20. Now let's talk about code quality. In this section of comparison, it doesn't feel very natural because Claude Code is based on Claude models, while Cursor can use other LLMs as well. So in my opinion, the question here is the Claude 4 models are good or not. The benchmarks confirms that, but more importantly, we can check the statistics. I'm going to a website called openrouter.ai. Here I can see the usage of LLMs for different categories. I've already chose programming, and you can see that these are the numbers of tokens that are used for each model. The statistic doesn't lie. You can see that Sonnet 4 and Sonnet 3.7 are leading this race. We also have Gemini, which is also a great model, but if you are choosing to go with Claude Code and choose the Anthropic models, it will work great for you. If we are talking about the quality of Cursor, you can choose between the Sonnets and Gemini as well. Both of them will work fine for you. Before I share my own opinion, two important notes. One, the AI world is changing fast, so maybe in a month from now it won't be relevant, so make sure to sub for more updates and tools like this. The second one is that this is my honest opinion. I tried my best to describe all the relevant aspects, but you can make your own decision as well. This is my opinion. I put it in a decision tree. The first question you need to ask yourself is, are you a heavy user, going to write code every day with prompts? If the question is yes, maybe you should consider using the max subscription. It's kinda expensive, I know, but it allows you to use the Opus model, and probably you won't hit any limits when you're using this subscription. If you are not a heavy user, the next question you need to ask yourself is, are you using Claude models only? If the answer is no, of course you will need to use Cursor, because you don't have this option with Claude Code and you will need only the subscription of Cursor. But if the answer is yes, in my opinion, I will choose Cursor as well, and I'll explain. Cursor allows you to work with slow requests. If you have a day that you have a lot of prompts to write, you can keep writing and it won't stop you. And in addition, the way Cursor presents the code and allows you to review, it's much preferred than the current implementation in Claude, even though we integrate it with the IDE. So the bottom line is that if you are not a heavy user, I would go with Cursor. If you are a heavy user, go with Claude Code Max subscription. It doesn't matter which one of them you are choosing, both of them are using MCPs. If you want to learn more about MCPs, you can watch this video. Thank you very much.